I am going to record this part so that everyone has this for at home, because there are a couple things that I want to point out specifically with the second part of the late homecomer. She brings up some key points that are some ideal changes for her family, not ideal changes for her family. There's really some problems that come for this, and it happens to a lot of immigrants at the same time. And there are direct byproducts by this political decision. Now, one of the things that she talks about, and the reason why her family all comes together, first off, let's start with the Vietnam War part of everything. So they all come to America. I've mentioned this before, because the Hmong people end up being persecuted for being Hmong because they helped fight in the Vietnam War, right? They helped the Americans in the Vietnam War, and that creates a large bit of problems for them once they stay in Laos. Okay, and the reason being is that Vietnam then essentially takes over a large part of Southeast Asia, or their communist government starts to take over a large part of Southeast Asia, including Laos. So they start killing men, women, children, whomever they can find that they believe is Hmong, that are Hmong. Okay. That's what this little video clip is for. It shows you literally that it was a secret war. The CIA organized everything up. They created a way for the Hmong to fight, and it looked like the United States was not involved with them until you saw them with like American goods, like rifles and military supplies. So in large part, they come to America to escape persecution, escape genocide. And in that process, and this was not uncommon, and I know this firsthand because my family did grow up relatively poorer than most. And so we did have to take advantage of the welfare system for a time being, okay, just because we fell on hard times. But the welfare system is established for anyone that needs financial help, or financial or fiscal help. So the difference is, can they pay their bills? Can they live a sustainable life? And also take care of any children they might have. That's the biggest thing they want to take care of. Before 1996, when there was welfare reform, 78% of Americans were receiving some type of welfare assistance. 78%. That's a very large number. Now, a lot of people were working and still receiving welfare. They were working like part-time jobs or not full-time jobs and still receiving welfare. The reason they were doing that is because in the 70s and 80s, welfare reform became very large because the economy was so bad that a lot of people needed assistance. The whole welfare system started just before World War II to help people during the Great Depression. Whenever there was a depression or recession, the welfare system would be heavily monopolized. People would take advantage of it and use it. I shouldn't say take advantage of it, but would use it heavily. Okay. In 1996, they put a cap on how long you could be in welfare. It was 2 years. You had to find a job within 2 years that would be full-time and you could live on. A lot of people end up working 2 jobs. They also they can't make ends meet on maybe the minimum wage jobs that they have. So what they end up doing is moving in with family and taking advantage of the idea that they can take care of the house bills, electric bills all together, and then at the same time provide food in large numbers. So you start seeing families moving into single households in large numbers. So aunts, uncles, cousins move into one home. Okay. When you talk about stereotypes of immigrants living off the welfare system, moving into homes together, those stereotypes are a byproduct of the fact that they did have to move in for a time to make ends meet. And so they live in large communal homes. They also, a lot of immigrants come from communal settings where if they fall on hard times, everyone just moves in together and pitches in. It's very different from kind of our American culture, because as you guys have problems or your parents have problems, or we kind of become more isolatory, right? We single each other out. We pull away from each other. So as you read this, that's what's going on for the Yang family and clan, is they talk about aunts and uncles coming to California or moving from California to Minnesota, which is a big change if you've ever been to California or Minnesota. One's really cold. The other one is never cold for the most part. And you start to see all these people move in, and it adds pressure onto her. That's when she starts talking about her grandma. That's when she starts talking about her aunts and uncles moving in and becoming American citizens. The second part of this, if you don't understand that's what she's talking about, seems very disconnected. So make sure you're watching the videos and understanding the subjects just before the videos that you're reading. Would you agree with that, Ayla? Make sure you read the sections before and watch the videos. Thank you, Robbie. Questions about the Latehomecomer or anything that I just covered? Because I know I throw a lot of information at you, but I promise you as you read this, it will make sense what I just covered.